Alright guys, Darren Cook asked me about putting caps on a slingshot, and so I thought I'd show you how I do mine. I'm sure there's lots of different ways to do it, but this is the way I do it. Not saying it's the best, but it's worked for me so far. I ain't had any problems with it. I don't usually pin mine. Never really seen the need for it. It depends on the glue you use. I use Gorilla Glue, expanding glue most of the time. I have used epoxy. I like the Gorilla Glue a lot. It seems to hold pretty good for me. I think in some applications it works really well, and in others the epoxy is a lot better than that. But anyway, most of mine have spacers in them, and what I usually use is just this. This is just felt, just a craft felt from the craft store, or I get it at Walmart. This stuff's about 20 cents a sheet or something like that. Cut it in whatever size. Here I've got a fork. This is actually this fork. I've been meaning to work on this for a while. This is quince. I went down to see my good friend Kevin Ingram down in Mississippi, and cut this off of a tree at his mama's house. And this wood, this is probably the hardest, densest wood I've ever messed with. If you're not familiar with quince, I wasn't either. It actually grows a fruit on it, something like a pear, but it's kind of sour. But man, this stuff is some kind of hard. But anyway, back to the caps. All right, I cut a piece of felt, or however many pieces I want to put on there. Sometimes I double it up. Make sure the size is right. That looks about right. Here's my cap, and you know, again, this is just for example. This is I don't know what this is. I think it's a piece of cedar. I just took it to cut off my bench. I just picked it up to, yeah, it's cedar. I can see the groove in it right there. But I just picked it up to show you how I do it. Now then, what I do is I put this in water. I put this felt in water. Wring all the water out of it that I can. This Gorilla Glue is activated by moisture, so we'll put it in the water. It helps it out a whole lot. But in the water, I take the Gorilla Glue, put a nice good coat. It doesn't matter how little, or it does matter how little, but it doesn't matter how much that you put on there, because you're going to trim it up anyway. But I put Gorilla Glue on here. I put the felt down on here, just like that. I put more Gorilla Glue on top of that. Take my end cap, put it on there like that, hold it in place. And then here's kind of really what I wanted to show you. These are TheraBand strips. You know, the same thing that I use to make band sets with, to tie pouches on with, or to tie bands onto the slingshot with. Alright, so I've got this. I'm holding it all together just like that. I take this strip, go over the top like that. So now then I've got it held in place just like this with that TheraBand strip. Take it, go around and around and around like that. So I've got it trapped. Come over to this side. Trap it again. Go over the top like that. Go like that. Okay, now then, just like a wrap and tuck, I put my finger underneath like this, wrap it over, lift it up, and pull the edge under. Alright, now then, as you can see, I've got that clamped on there. One strip's not going to make it that tight, but you know, it's going to hold it in place. And the good thing about this is, if your cap's a little small, if you want to move it around, when you've just got this on here and the glue's still wet, you can adjust it and get it where you want it and get everything all lined up perfect. This happened to be a latex strip, but then I take another one, do the same thing, go real tight, just like this, wrap and tuck until I get enough on there where I think it'll hold good. Now that right there, I wish y'all could feel that, because that's damn tight. I mean, it is clamped. And when I do it, like I do the fork tips the same way. And honestly, when you do it like this, it does a real good job clamping it. I have never had any cracks. I've never had any separations. I've never had any of my caps or any come loose, or in any way act like they were gonna come loose. I mean, it really works well for me. So anyway, I just thought I'd shoot this video and show y'all how I do it. Maybe somebody else has got a different way. I'd love to see it. Alright, thanks.